drama, personal development. You're also a script writer, and you are a performance poet, as well as a director and producer for musical theatre. And there are many other strings to your bows in the form of life coach, peace activist, advocacy and environment. And you're also very strong at as a supporter of interfaith by embracing the light of all belief systems. And one way in which I've observed you doing this over the years is your continued support and collaboration for the work of the Bramah Kumaris. You've been attending these events honoring Black History Month for as far back as I can remember. So I just want to say thank you very much for your continued support and giving the message as we do give the message. So thank you very much. Please can you take the stage? So it's really interesting that Masana and I, we didn't really think it through really carefully, but it's interesting that the drama is always very accurate because we've chosen two music artists who've never actually met before to have this conversation. And we were feeling a bit kind of, okay, how is this going to work? Because there are also of different generations, but I really feel that it's going to be a really great 10-minute process. So the questions that you're being asked to dialogue on are, first, what does diversity within adversity mean for you? So perhaps what I need to do is just to stop here, and if there's a need to move on to the next question, then we can do that. Or would you prefer me to give you the other questions so that you can choose in your own time to touch on them?
Look at that curveball. Well, we've been asked to talk about diversity and adversity.
Okay.
So
Right, okay, so go for it. Yes, thank you.
So greetings, I'm Angela, otherwise known as Poppy Seed, not just Poppy. And it's a pleasure to be here for Black History Month. And you've just met Blackie.
Greetings, guys. Nice to meet you, and not rap, but actually speak to you as well. So we're basically come here and we got given the topic, diversity and adversity, and we just really want to talk a bit more about that and the definitions. What is adversity? What is diversity? So should we start with that?
Yeah, so defining the terms that we're talking about first, concentrating on the what. So what's diversity to you? What does that conjure up for you, Blackie?
I think it's very interesting, especially nowadays in the present times that we live. Diversity is basically, for me, is the range of the different groups. Really, it's like a range of the genders, the ethnic groups, sexual preference, and we live in such a diverse world. It's all the classifications really in the groups that identify people. So what do you think for yourself? What would?
Yeah, I think it's such a multi-dimensional, multifaceted subject, diversity, because it's all of us, really. I think of women, I think of girls, I think of gender diversity, as you said. Within culture, there's so much that you could unpack, in that there's race, there's ethnicity, and even within culture, it can be then split up into traditions and eating practices. All of those are kind of going deeper into what diversity celebrates.
Yeah, definitely. And when we're talking about adversity, like that's a very strong word as well. So, what to you is adversity, and how would you define that?
Yeah, so I think that we have come to understand adversity as anything that is challenging, that is problematic, that is catastrophic to the individual. Within diversity, I think that adversity is relative. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, I don't have problem projecting at all. It's just. Is it picking up the other? Okay. Yeah, so I think that what's an adverse situation to many people is relative. We are now in a time where adversity is being so dramatically played out that we can't ignore. But one person's adversity is another person's success. If you think of a war or conflict situation, one side may think that they are being heroes, and the other side is being grossly challenged, for want of a better word. So that's what I mean by how complex it is and how relative it is to the person, to you in all our diversity. The other thing about adversity and diversity is that health is also a very important challenge that can present adverse situations, and not all things are seen, just like many disabilities are not seen and many health conditions are not seen, and we often judge by what we see and what we judge, etc. So adversity is relative in such a wide sense. And the other aspect of adversity is about the environment that you're in and the natural environment, and what your take is on that. Again, it's being played out very deeply at the moment with as many hurricanes and natural disasters that we have seen and are seeing right now in this moment, and how much of that is an adverse situation. But we're sitting in a country that might not experience a hurricane in the sense that it might in another country, but it's all relative. There have been floods in England quite recently, and for wherever you are, losing your home, displacing your family is the same when we look at things relatively.
That's very interesting. I think one of the keywords you said there was that is relative, and so adversity, we all face adversity, we face challenges, but say for example we could lose our job, and we could easily maybe get another job potentially, but someone in a third world country, they could lose their job and that's it, there's no coming back from that. So adversity is very relative, like you're saying. And I think as well, adversity is that challenge, that growth. There's something in that really gives a lot of strength to us. So adversity brings a lot of strength, brings a lot of nourishment to us as souls. And we're just going to quickly discuss the last thing, was really how the differences and how adversity and diversity, what would you say about the kind of similarities and the differences, as in does adversity play a role in having, or does diversity have a role in adversity? Does it create adversity?
Well, I think that is more to the point of it being relative. We are all, at the end of the day, individuals
uniquely different from each other. That's what makes us as a collective a diverse species. And the more that we come together in our humanness and realise that, you know, a millionaire who's lost his riches and his mansion in a volcano or a hurricane is the same as the poor man who's lost his shack with a corrugated iron roof. He's still lost everything and is as displaced as the millionaire. So looking at what people do with diversity in adversity will be the conversation that will take place a little later. So for right now, we will put the conversation out. So I will pass it back to...
Yeah, I just wanted to say we have a couple of minutes, don't we, Masana? And from each of you, if you could just give a response as to what can I do in my daily life to accept differences. Maybe one thing, you know, just to really set the scene for us to break up into pairs. Thank you. What can we, one thing that we can do in our daily lives to accept differences? Thank you.
Yeah, I think for me personally is to see the similarities, even though that we might have like differences within our ages or genders, but what similarities do we have? And you know, that for me can like eradicate the hatred and the differences. So just see what similarities have we got.
Angela?
If you're looking for one word, I would say tolerance.
Wow. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much indeed. So we've got to the end of your 10 minutes, so I would like to invite you to get back to your seats, and what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be putting a question on the screen for participants to have a conversation about for 10 minutes. So we're going to invite you to join with another person to have this conversation for 10 minutes. And it would be really good if you didn't pair up with someone you've come with in order to really just have that conversation that is